Hi, I'm Corbie Mitleid, and welcome to Cafe Corbie. Before we get started, be sure to click the subscribe button so you never miss news from the nest. Today we'll continue our Wheel of the Year meditations with one for Ostara, the Spring Equinox. Ostara is when spring growth truly begins. Days become longer than nights. There is wonderful wild abandon as flowers bloom and plants and trees grow. It's a time for you to plant all the ideas and actions you want to bring into the sunlight for the year. Relax. Get comfortable. Get your wiggles out and settle down. Close your eyes and take a deep, cleansing breath in and let it gently go. Again, in, fill your lungs, pull in sweet oxygen, and let it out. One more time. In and out. Locate your center point. Feel yourself completely balanced, completely at ease. Feel your spine lengthen like a taproot, planting itself deep in the earth, giving you strength and stamina. Let the top of your head, your crown chakra, open like a skylight, letting in the cosmic light. You are now settled, anchored, and can let your body go. It will take care of itself while you walk the corridors of thought and imagination. It is just before dawn. You stand outside, your eyes closed, just breathing in the spring air. Birdsong is clear, a happy cacophony of trills and warbles, as the birds call out for mates and greet the sun that rises earlier each day. There is a different sound to the breeze. Instead of the click of bare branches, there begins to be soft rustling as flowers dance and new leaves flutter in joy, drinking in the sunshine. You open your eyes and look down at where you are standing. Imbolc's mud is gone, and you see instead grass springing from the land, sweet and succulent, beckoning the deer that have subsisted on dry winter forage for months. You look to the west, where there is still darkness. The rising sun has not yet touched it. Think about the winter just past and what you want to leave behind. Spring marks new beginnings, and new beginnings call for fresh ideas, fresh views, and a yearning to create. See a compost heap in the western part of this meadow. This is where projects that no longer have a place in your life rest, their parts and seeds decomposing to create fertilization for those things you wish to bring forward now. You see a fenced-off area a few yards away. This is your growing ground for the year. What does the fence look like? A short white picket creation? Tall and netted to prevent the woodland creatures from taking nourishment before you can harvest. A simple wall of stone and mud. Look carefully at this wall and ask yourself if it serves the purpose you have in mind for the year. You move toward the garden. Do you climb the fence, or is there a gate? Let yourself in. The garden needs clearing. There are stones to move. There are old dead plants to pull up and take to the compost heap. There are also tools waiting for you, rake and hoe, spade and shovel, and there is a huge basket that holds seeds, but they don't all look like seeds. Some are pens for writing. Some are bells for calling. Some are tiny hammers and saws for building. Some are sheets of music for dancing or singing your ideas into the world. Lots in there to choose from, says a cheerful voice. You turn, recognizing those merry tones, and indeed it is the Sun-Child, your celestial companion, who now appears as a 10-year-old. His grin is infectious. He is dressed the way a child might imagine a farmer to dress. Overalls and a checkered shirt, mud boots, a big straw hat, and gloves in his pocket. I think the stones need to go first, don't you? He remarks. He gestures. I can't lift 'em, though. They're yours. He tosses you a pair of sturdy gloves, and you begin. On each stone is etched a little picture, symbolizing what the stone represents. A story you used to tell yourself that you're done with. A relationship that withered in the winter cold. Manuscripts that went nowhere. Things you were told you had to do, or be, or have, that you know simply will not grow in the soil you claim. Finally, the ground is empty of rocks. Then you start on the weazened stalks of last year's beings and doings. You tug, you pull, you break up the soil that still holds them fast to the ground, and you take them over to the compost heap until the land in the garden is bare and ready for something new. The Sun-Child works next to you, helping to break up the packed soil, evening it out for planting. You know, he says casually, this is a lot like what we did at Candlemas, only it was your house that we cleared. For a while, there is only the soft sound of metal scraping against the ground, dislodging the occasional pebble, or getting caught in a tangle of stringy roots. Did that feel good, getting all that old energy out? It's gonna be even better out here. At last, the ground is ready for planting. The Sun-Child plops down next to the seed bucket and gleefully overturns it, the contents spilling onto the soil. Come on, he says. Get a little muddy and look at what you've got. You hunker down next to him and go through the seed packets. The tokens of new ideas and new plans, sifting, weighing, and deciding what you'll plant and nourish. You lay out 3 piles of seeds, 3 choices of creation, in front of the Sunchild, piling everything else back into the basket. He nods and smiles. Looks good to me. He holds out a hand and hauls you up, and the 2 of you make fine, neat rows in the garden, planting the seeds carefully, covering them well, adding fertilizer to help them grow strong and steady. When you're done, you swipe at your clothes, dislodging mud clumps and a few errant worms. You see that the Sunchild has already moved out into the field and is lying on the grass. You join him, feeling the meadow welcome you. He gestures. Clouds are busy today. Lots of play up there. What do you see? And you lie back, watching the clouds form. Birds and dragons, lions and rabbits, and creatures for which you have no name at all. There's a noise, and you raise yourself up in wonder. All the animals that you saw in cloud forms have landed in the meadow, sleeping, playing, enjoying the warmth and the comfort. Why are you surprised? Chuckles the Sunchild. Ideas always float around in your head before they come to earth, don't they? You look around, fascinated by the creatures that seem made of mist and wind. The Sunchild hops to his feet, once more offering you a hand to stand. Just remember, what you think and what you dream are going to show up between now and solstice. So think good things and dream what you want. Don't waste what we'll give you. You get a brief warm hug, and the light flares. You blink, and you are alone in the meadow, the sun high in the sky, already warming the ground where your new projects are ready to sprout. You go to your garden and lean on the fence, silently cheering on the new growth and promising to tend it well. That's it for today at Cafe Corbie. Special thanks to our Patreon team, whose support enables us to bring you all these videos. Amy Bush, Shannon Hayes, Robin McAleer, and Frankie Wood. Be sure to visit us on Facebook at Fire Through Spirit, or join us on Patreon for exclusive content and to be part of the flock. We'll see you again soon.